Hello, welcome to Dose of Discourse. It's AJ, and I'm joined with the usual people, Kanai, Tiffany, and Eric.
Woo!
Woo! All right, so today our topic is about work, jobs, and I picked this topic because I straight up don't know what I know you guys what you guys like job titles, but I don't know exactly like what you guys do, you know? Or like, you
Sit
know, like
around, drink coffee,
that sounds like the basic life of like a CS major, I'll be real. But like kind of like, because I feel like I know people in like very similar job positions, but like every job is different depending on the company. And Kanai's a nurse, but like she could be doing like something completely different than like other nurses, who knows? Yeah.
True.
Yeah. Oh. And I just want to see how you would describe your work. But I think that's like something, people have trouble talking about, like, what exactly you do. Like sometimes you don't know how to describe it.
Me.
Tiffany?
I don't never know how to describe my work.
How about, go ahead. Describe it right now.
But what are we drinking today?
What are we drinking? Oh, I see. From what I know, we're all drinking like from Starbucks cups.
That is a fact.
That is a fact. I am drinking I don't actually know what this is.
The pink drink.
It's not. It's the guava pink.
Passion?
I don't know, passion fruit with the coconut milk. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Keith. Shout out to Keith for buying Starbucks. This is what is not actually what I ordered. This is what he ordered, and he ended up not liking what it was, and he was like, "Here." So it's mine now.
We love free.
Yeah. What are you drinking, Kanai?
I am using my Earth Day cup, but I'm just drinking lemon tea, and then I've actually been drinking a lot of water, and I've been sending this to Eric, but I've been testing like different types of water to see what type of water I like. And
yeah, there's a right and wrong answer.
I'll
be real, there is.
But today I am trying out natural soft water from Mount Fuji. It's Japanese water.
Ooh.
We like the aesthetic of the
some
bottle.
bougie ass water.
I like how it's like cotton candy, pink and blue.
Yes. So I've been trying. This is mineral water. So I've been trying different types of water, but that can be a different discussion.
Yeah.
I will send you guys this later, but there's a cat on TikTok. His name is Milo. He's a very bougie ass cat, but he likes very specific water. He
only drinks waters from the mountains that are blessed by sea turtles.
He likes, I think it's Evian. I think he likes Evian water. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, or something. I don't know.
That's a fancy brand.
Yeah, he likes that.
I gave that 10 out of 10.
Yeah, he only likes that water, and like he only likes like super fancy steaks and not like the generic steaks and all that stuff. Yeah, he's a very bougie cat. But I will send you guys that TikTok later.
Yeah. What are you drinking, Tiffany?
I'm drinking an iced blonde vanilla latte.
Wow.
Cute.
Did you make that yourself, or is that from Starbucks?
Starbucks. I'm not that bougie.
You're not that fancy to make it.
I've learned how to make an iced macchiato or caramel.
Yes.
Yum.
So that
love macchiatos. Yes.
That's good.
I thought blonde coffees have a lot of caffeine.
Yeah. I've noticed that I'm very dependent on caffeine now.
So is Eric.
Sounds like somebody we know.
A little bit. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, I kind of have to since I work second shift. So
yeah.
Yeah, Eric, what's your excuse? What are you drinking, Eric?
I'm drinking not caffeine. It's from this wonderful cup that my friend Kanai gifted me. Also the Earth Day cup.
Oh.
I'm gonna sell those next year.
And it's not coffee. It's like grapefruit, orange, sparkling water.
Oh, that's fancy.
I like
very good.
You know, I like drinking like fun. I like drinking my drinks in like the fun cups because like you have it, so might as well drink it.
Yeah.
Speaking of like grapefruit, like I'm also very into like Pocari Sweat.
I love it.
I tried it.
If you don't know what it is, it's like it's a Japanese Asian like a sports drink similar to like Gatorade, Pedialyte,
or like electrolytes.
Oh, I remember you got one last time I went.
Me too. Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't know people didn't know this because I know people who do drink it, but it's grapefruit flavored. Like that's the flavor of that drink is. Because I have people out. I was like, yeah, I'm drinking Pocari Sweat. I really like the grapefruit flavor, and they're like, it's grapefruit flavored. I'm like, yeah, you didn't know that? He's like, I didn't know what flavor that was. Just been drinking it. Yeah, it's really good. I buy like the really big bottle. Like last time, I finished it, so I want to get more. Yeah, just a little tangent. Pocari Sweat.
Yeah.
We only have a tiny grocery store here, but we have like multiple.
It's
But
okay.
that's fine.
Do you
We'll
want to
send
be
you the
really proud of
power.
this conversation? Like,
What?
you're the Hydro homies. This Paul
Jacob.
and Jacob. Them.
A whole
I have
discussion
my
on
water
water.
bottle.
Yeah.
Water. I have my water
I'm
bottle
telling
here
you,
too.
I've tried so many different water brands. It's actually kind of because I've actually just been trying to get more hydrated. I've tried like Voss, I've tried Hawaiian Isles, I've
That
tried.
makes it fun. Yeah.
I even got like the big like 1.5 liter ones, so I make it a goal to drink more water. But like it's nice. I like it. I think Evian's been my favorite brand so far. So
Interesting. Anyways, back to the topic at hand. Who would like to talk about work first?
what?
Ooh.
Okay. I think
don't know.
Tiffany was starting.
Tiffany was talking, so.
Hold on, my headphones like.
Okay, excuses.
Technical difficulty.
I approve of Evian water because it's spring water.
It's nice.
Spring water is superior.
That's good. I've tried like artesian. Is that how you
Expensive
pronounce
though.
Oh, there we go.
I remember my third grade teacher. I don't know why I remember this so clearly, but she said that water, Evian, said Evian spelled backwards is naive. That water is for people who are naive and just want to spend extra money on.
I remember.
How much is a bottle?
Well, the big one is less than $3.
Not that bad, but
the pack is like
the big one.
The packs are like depending like what.
It was like $2.70 something for like the big liter-ish one. I have one in the back of my car. I can check.
The packs are like, you know, like depending how big it is, like $15 to like $30.
Yeah, I mean it's not much different than smart water.
Yeah, but I don't like spending more expensive water.
It's not.
Might as well just buy Spring Mountain.
A 24
Ice
pack
Mountain.
of a 50 ml bottle is $23.92.
Oh, nope. I can just buy spring water for like $12.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the Kirkland one is like $2 for.
No, I don't. That one's like my second. Like that's like a second resort. The Kirkland water.
We have Kirkland.
I'm used
we have
to that.
Ice Mountain.
I don't. I just don't like purified water if it's not like really cold. You know. I mean, nothing says worse as finding out. Like my friend says he likes the Dasani water, so he's like, "Yeah, I like Dasani water." Oh God. Anyways, now that Tiffany's mic is working again.
It turns out I just turned down the volume.
Speak.
Okay. Anyways,
what's your job title?
My job title is I'm a lab technician 2.
Wow.
In the formulations department for custom build services. La 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 la. So I have the longest job title of the entire world. But anyways, so technically I just kind of formulate things based off of what the customers want. I don't know. I just do whatever they tell me to do basically. Whatever the program tells me, I just do it.
So you're working like in like a lab?
Yeah, so I work in a lab. So I basically work in a GMP lab. So I'm not allowed to eat or drink inside the lab. I have to gown up. So we have a gown up room. I literally have to wear a lab coat, gloves, goggles, everything, and I always have to decon my gloves and my phone every time I go in. So if I don't answer at all during work, that's the reason why. So like every time you guys message me, I don't respond because that's a pain in the ass to decon everything. Yeah. And so like I'm always dying of thirst because I can't drink anything.
sucks.
Yeah, but so basically I just kind of, I mean, if you want to really think about it, I'm basically moving DNA back and forth using a robot.
Sounds
Love
so
that.
fancy.
Yeah, but yeah,
Futuristic.
if you, for those who aren't really like science majors
For the
or like
layman people.
really know like science things, it's technically DNA, but like for those who do know kind of science stuff, it's oligonucleotides. I think it's the company kind of created the name. I don't really know.
It's like they
Oligos.
like I know companies like patent certain like they
Yeah.
add like something specific to it
Yeah,
so they
yeah.
can patent it and only people use it.
Yeah, so
The
like
company
our
does that.
like
It's
our
annoying.
like our short name is Oligos. So that's our company name, is to call it
Yeah.
Oligos. Yeah.
So yeah,
So
company name.
we formulate custom versions of them. So it's kind of like a specific DNA strand that the companies can, or like customers can, I don't know, submit it through like a program or whatever
So who are
online.
like your like quote unquote like customers?
We have customers from like everywhere in the world. So I think we've had customers from your company. We've had it from like Abbott. We've had it from like universities. We have it from University like Harvard. We've had it from Stanford. We've had it from like universities in Tokyo,
Yeah.
Ooh.
Japan.
So yeah. So like what is like the stuff you're working on like used for?
I think it's for research purposes.
Like
I don't know.
research?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's a lot of it's basically in buffers or they're dry.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so I don't think it's so
Yeah. that
whatever
makes
they
sense.
do with that.
Okay, yeah,
um,
like buffer stuff. Okay.
Yes, everything's in
That makes sense for me as someone who works like in this very similar industry.
Yeah, so we're all in all we're a biotech company.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we can.
Wow, fancy.
Yeah, we're
Man,
fairly fancy.
feels bad. You work second shift.
Yeah, so I do work second shift. So if we have problems with our orders, the account managers are usually not there, so I have to wait the next day.
Oh,
And
that's
why
actually
most of my orders are late.
that actually really sucks. Though,
Yeah, so my
like
orders
you
are
don't
usually
have
late.
like the managers on duty.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
so we have team leads with us, but
But like sometimes you need like the high like a
Yeah.
a step higher. Yeah.
yeah, so it kind of sucks when we're trying to contact like different departments, but they're not there. But most of the time, our company is 24/7.
24/7. Oh, fancy. And Tiffany, she graduated in what? You're in biochem, yeah?
Yeah, I graduated
Yeah, you
with
go biochem.
biochem and math.
Yeah. Wow.
And a minor in
Fun.
chemistry. Wow.
Wow.
Well, the minor in chemistry I just threw in there because all the requirements.
You're
I
there
finished.
already.
Wait, why was
I-
that me? Why was that me like getting my minor in chemistry? I
Except-
was like I just need to take one more class and I was like might
Might as well.
I
Well,
was like,
okay.
let me just get
See,
my minor.
I didn't even need to take an extra class because all my classes were covered with the biochem degree. So I was like, hey,
Yeah,
add it in.
I know people in biochem they got like a bio minor because
Oh,
like they're already taking the same.
No thanks.
Yeah, depending on like because like I know Purdue has like there's like 3 different biochem majors because you are either under the college you can either be under like agriculture biochemistry or like the chemistry and like biology and the chemistry under like chemistry.
Oh,
Like it's like very specialized niche and stuff like that.
not us.
Wow.
I mean, I just got lucky because the math program, they had just implemented a program C where they combined the biochemistry with the math.
Okay.
So I don't know.
Okay.
I was like, okay, and then I regretted it, but it's fine. I graduated.
Ooh. All right. Thanks for sharing. Does anyone want to go next, or I can go next, or?
I mean, y'all are both similar. So.
Okay, I'll go. Okay, so kind of similar to Tiffany, but my title is I'm an associate scientist. So I work at Abbott Laboratories. You might be familiar with some of the products. We invented like Pedialyte, like our nutrition department, Pedialyte, Ensure, like all like the food replacement supplements, stuff like that. but that's not my department, so I'm not too familiar. So I work in the diagnostics department, specifically like core diagnostics. Bro, my job is very like explaining what I do is so confusing. So basically, like currently, like what I do, what I'm working on right now is basically long story short, there are like these. Move the hair off my mic. I don't even know where my wait, it's here. Okay, sorry, my mic fell out. It's because I don't usually put that on. Okay, can you hear me better?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay,
We're just hearing the
sorry.
rustling.
Sorry, yeah, it was because it's by my my blanket.
Oh.
But basically, my team is trying to abide by like change all the like our products and stuff to abide by like the new European Union regulations and stuff to just make everything like consistent. So specifically what I do is we have machines that usually you can find them in like medical places and stuff, hospitals, and those are if you ever do lab tests, usually they'll put in like your blood samples or like urine samples in like a machine similar to this, like not exactly like our instrument, but like there's like a bunch of different ones out there. And so basically we're working with that instrument, and there's a lot of different chemicals that you will put in it to like compare it to your blood or urine samples, and those are used to diagnose people with certain conditions. So like let's say they put it in like your sample in there and a certain level is too high or a certain range, like oh you have like diabetes or something like that basically. So basically what I do is I write the testing protocols on what is needed to use for that instrument, like that specific chemical. So I kind of have to do like digging through documents and talk with like our medical team on what ranges these samples need to be at, or if we need to make anything manufactured. And so we have one that I write protocols for that, and also I write testing protocols for our testing lab to try to replicate the results to make sure everything's like working correctly and stuff like that. That's basically long story short of what I do. It's kind of complicated. I do a lot of like Excel, like I do a lot of like documentation like on Excel to make everything organized with like my mentors and coworkers, because they're doing something very different than I am, but it gets all like put together. Like they write like the design plans for like all of that stuff that you find in like things that like how to store things and what temperature it needs to be at and stuff like that. Like a little bit more complicated than what I'm doing. Then there's like the testing lab people and stuff like that. So
Is it kind of like the instructions manual?
yeah, I'm writing.
Okay.
I'm basically so yeah. So it'll be like depending, because there's two different like protocols depending what it's being used for. So basically, I'm inputting data like so. This is the reagent's gonna need to be between these two ranges, and basically I have to figure out what ranges those need to be at. Usually there's like controls from like our manufacturers that we have, but then sometimes if the medical team says we need something that calculates at a certain point, it'll be and like our controls don't cover that. I have to calculate what range we need, or that we need to add one, and then I message Kelly. I'm like, hey, we need to make this. I just like, yeah, we need that, and I send it to approvers. Like, I have someone in quality checks it, a statistician checks like all the numbers, and it's a pain in the ass, and like because you can't really type like micrograms on like a computer. It's like the weird like U.
Well,
So
you
they want you to write like you'll just write UG. Like sometimes I'm taking things from a document and I can't change like the wording whatsoever. Like I just have to copy and paste and put it in. And they're like, can you change it to like micro G? And I'm like, bro, I cannot. Or like sometimes they ask me questions, like they'll ask me questions. And I'm like, I cannot physically change that. That is not something I can change in the document. That's templated. We don't want to change that.
You can't type that?
No, like it's copy and pasted. So I can't
Oh.
physically like if our technical team writes it as UG,
Oh, you just have to write whatever.
I have to keep it as that because like they want it to be like consistent. And so it's a lot of like going back and forth with like a lot of people. I'm sitting in a lot of meetings. Was it not being recorded before?
No, it was.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, so it's a lot. I sit in a lot of meetings. Like I'll be real. Sometimes I like a lot of meetings like don't really have anything to do with like what I'm working on. So, but like there are some like I've been in like meetings where like literally I've had like two like coworkers going back and forth on like whether the value like it should be 2, how 2 and 2.0 are not the same. Because like the way our instrument reads values. And like right now, like for example, there's a discussion how like the medical team wants like, we need like a point at 204 something, but then our machine only reads up to like 59 something, like for that specific chemical. But like our machine can also do automatic dilution. But if it's still too high, you have to do like manual dilution, which isn't the most like accurate because the way people pipette is different, and it's a problem when we're trying to get the number to be exactly the same across like 3 people over testing of 5 days to make sure you can reproduce the same results. And so I just sit there listening to them like arguing, and I'm like, yeah, that's cool. Can someone just tell me when you figure it out so I can put it in? And people be emailing me about all these things, and I'm like, bro, I don't. So I'm still trying to figure out work. Sometimes I'm still trying to figure out things, but work is cool. I work from home every other week, so that's nice. Sometimes I do wish I was in like a lab, like maybe when things die down, they can move me to testing lab to work there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you just kind of?
Yeah, I work in like the office.
An office. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
like.
So you kind of just take like the information from like the, I don't know, like experiments or something, and kind of put them all together, or.
So, kinda. There's like basically there's like a team making decisions on like this is what
you
need for to be able to diagnose someone. So like it doesn't help to just like you don't want to test like that a big amount of range, like a big range, when you can just test like maybe someone has like diabetes that like if their like glucose levels are at this, so maybe you want to test like if it's higher than that, like and then like slightly like below the range, and if it's below, like it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Or like you want to test like 0 to like 2, and if it's 2 to like 4, and if it's like above 2, then like you got diabetes, stuff like that. And so that's usually like what I'm working on. I also do a lot of like, I've learned so much about Excel. Like how people always like you put like proficient at Excel under resumes, but you use it for like spreadsheet stuff. But boy, I've learned so much like about how to use Excel. Like, man, I've never used Excel in like this way before.
Yeah, there's a lot more to Excel than you think.
Yeah, there's a lot, and I've learned the joys of having a second monitor when I'm at work, because since I am looking through like many documents and trying to verify everything. It sucks because sometimes like, I'm usually busy when I'm working from home and I don't have a second monitor. So I'm like clicking through every document, like I can't find what I'm looking for.
Surprised they didn't supply you with one.
I have one at work.
Mm.
So, and I'm like, I'm not about to just bring the monitor home.
At my work, they give you one. Like
Yeah.
I mean, I have one at my desk, but if I want to bring home monitors,
I
can
just don't
ask for
really
them.
also have room for like a second monitor
Yeah.
here, because usually like I can like because usually sometimes I don't really need the second monitor even like when at work, but like when I do need it, it really
Nice.
be when I'm at home. Like when it would be useful when I'm like looking at an Excel sheet that's like really long, and like or like if I'm going back and forth between 2 pages, I lose track really easily. But yeah, work be cool. My I get a discount on a Pedialyte in that. But my mom uses like she's like, hey, can you buy me like Glucerna? Like every few weeks, she's like, can you buy that? And I'm like, man, my coworkers probably see me like walk in like after lunch with all these like packs of Glucerna. They're like, man, Asia loves this stuff. No, my mom likes to drink it for like when she's at work.
I'm sure they know it's not for you.
You never know. You never know. Like
true.
cause like a lot of them are like meal replacements. So yeah, that's fun. It's fun. Work's cool. Coworkers are nice. Except my mentor likes to quiz me a lot. And so I'm like, I'll ask a question and then he'll be like, what do you think? And I'm like,
I hate it when
okay.
people do that. I'm glad that none of my people do that.
Yeah.
I mean, like sometimes I'll get asked a question like, "How do I do this?" But like
Yeah.
that's them like genuinely asking
Or,
like,
like,
"How do they do this?"
yeah.
But like, I'm glad that they don't like purposely ask me that because
Yeah.
I'll be like,
Or like sometimes like just to get more experience, like he'll get an email like with all of this, like all this information, then he'll ask like what do you understand what they're saying, like what are you interpreting from this conversation? I'm like, oh, so we need to do this, this, and this, and then he'll send me great job, and I'm like, yes, I am not stupid. Because sometimes like I know it's something like when you're working, sometimes you get like imposter syndrome and you're like, man, I'm not qualified for this job. So yeah, my mentor says like even if I don't stay like with the company, like he's like, yeah, writing protocols is like actually something like a lot of like biotech medical companies and stuff like that, they like really think that's like very like good thing to be able to understand and do. And I'm like, nice.
Yeah, because I feel like if you're able to write it, you'd be able to do it.
Yeah, you have a lot, like you have like like the understanding of like where it like comes from, I guess. Yeah. And like get a lot of, because I know a lot of places like from like when I was doing like my job search, they want like people like a lot of work is also like documentation and like being able to document things accurately and understand like all the stuff, yeah, work be cool. Woo. Yeah.
Yay, work.
Yay.
Kanai, you want to talk about your work?
Okay, so job title would be pediatric nurse. I do more of like private home care, only because I just didn't have experience with like pediatrics or OB, which is like pregnant people, due to COVID. So I decided once I got my degree, I wanted to work more towards something that I didn't have experience with. So I'm doing pediatrics right now, which is a completely different realm of something that I didn't think I would like, but I actually am getting.
I don't like children.
I don't. I mean, I do like children. I feel like it's just something that I don't know. I feel like if it was more towards like ICU, like intensive care unit, like critically ill, like I don't think I would be able to handle it because
it's very stressful.
It's really like sad to see those types of things. I mean,
especially like now during like COVID, like especially when COVID was at our peak.
Exactly. So I think for like safety reasons, I just decided to do like one-on-one home care which is just, you know, it's something really new for me. So I wanted to take it slow at first, but it turns out my boss is pregnant. So I actually get the experience of OB and peds.
Yeah.
So it's been a very exciting journey because since I started working for them in November, I've already seen growth through like my patient, but also like the other kids. So I am in charge of taking care of one patient, but she has multiple siblings. So I've had to learn working through children with pregnant mom.
You're like also
and my
kind of like
patient.
at the same time like babysitting like these kids in a way.
In a way, but it's
Yeah.
just more of like working in the home and
Mhm.
what it's just that balance, finding
Yeah.
balance between like there are certain things that my like boss likes to do with my patient that she prefers, and during those times I've accommodated and done learn more things about like children development,
Mhm.
taking care of those kids. So what I mainly do with my patient, just given like HIPAA, I can't really
Yeah.
discuss anything crazy, but she just has a rare form of epilepsy. She uses an NG tube, which is an nasogastric tube, so she doesn't eat. I have to feed her 3-4 times a day, and usually I work like a 10-hour shift, so from 8 to 6. Depending on her condition, sometimes she has spasms in the night, and it can result in her being really lethargic or her being really irritated. So it just depends on the day, but mainly I am in charge of like medication administration, um, NG care, either like replacement or retaping, like duoderm, retaping her tape, making sure like the length is in correctly. I check in for placements to see that if her NG tube is in the right placement of her stomach, because if it's not, then it can coil and cause some damage through her throat. So I have to do like pH strips. I have to work with like auscultations. I check her vitals, make sure she's okay. She does have allergies, so I do have to be mindful of her allergies, all of her like anything abnormal. It's all about documentation, and
Yeah.
I have to pretty much document everything. Funny thing is though, she only drinks essential water, which is like a higher alkaline pH water, and that's like expensive ass water. I think I'm like, oh my god. Like I saw how much you have to pay for a pack, and I was like, oh god.
So she's basically the whole package right there. Like the
Yeah,
whole experience from like.
yeah, and I also have to do like physical therapy exercises,
Oh, there
range
you
of
go. You even get
motion.
physical therapy
Yeah,
experience.
it's a whole thing of just I mean, it's just me taking care of her. And it's really hard because she's nonverbal, so it's really hard to communicate. I've had to learn like a little bit of sign language in order to communicate with her a little bit. Um, it's been very. I feel like it's really different from geriatrics because that's what I'm mainly used to. But when you're in an environment with her, like you're gonna have to be very positive. You're gonna have to be reinforcing of like positive, optimistic, like you're gonna have to treat her like she's normal. And she is normal, but she just has some difficulties with a head injury. And it's just that developmental of like she's growing, she's doing well, like but she does have issues. Like she has a liver transplant issue. So it's also, taking care of her medications and similar to what AJ was talking about, she does reach thresholds. We have to draw labs on her, and if it doesn't meet that range of controlled versus like abnormal, I have to readjust her like Epidiolex, her medications. And it's crazy when you have to like do that reconstitution of like med dosage, and it's like it all kind of fits in where like you two are doing labs, and I mean it kind of
It's funny because it's like I write it and like
yeah
Tiffany's kind of following like procedures and
yeah
then like
and then
Kanai's like
I'm the
using all that
person
shit.
that's like
She's
okay
the
I
one
make
actually
it.
she's
I
like
make it.
like
yeah
Tiffany would be like the
I'm
like
the
it would be like
maker.
Tiffany, then I would like my company would be like the customer Tiffany's and then
yeah
Kanai's would be like the customer mine.
yeah because I have to like use
Then there's
that
Eric.
Oh no. Eric would be the person that would create the programs that I would have to use.
oh Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
like-
goes in the
Eric's
full.
like,
Yeah,
no.
yeah, because
He's like,
they're
Eric's
making
like,
the
yeah, it's right there.
making the robots and all the programs. Because we have like we have in-house devs, like developers
Yeah,
and
there's a
stuff.
lot of devs. But
So
Mhm.
yeah,
it's
the guy
okay, Eric.
behind the guy who's I haven't seen
Brains.
him.
The
I
brains.
just see the guy who
brains.
sits behind me. He
The
codes.
ITs.
Hey,
Yeah.
He
Nice.
codes, but I
important.
haven't seen him in a while. I think he has a different shift now.
yeah. But yeah, it's been very exciting. I mean, at the same time, I still get to play with these kids.
Yeah.
Like, I have to incorporate some type of normalcy into her life. And that's why I think some of you may see me like strolling outside, walking. It's been very difficult if she does have those like stoops
Like when,
of when
yeah.
she's not okay, when her like epilepsy or her liver transplant, like her AST enzymes were recently elevated, which
Oh
is
my
like her
God,
liver.
AST. Ugh.
So, there are some like diagnosis things that
Yeah.
AJ was talking about
Yeah.
that pertains to me where I was like, okay, I get it
Yeah,
because
yeah.
you really have to alter medications
Mm-hmm.
to fit that standard.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and you know what, she also does nutrition. I have to rearrange her like diet, meal prep. She's on a keto diet, so I have to do her calories, carbs, her macros, micros.
Do
It's
you
a
like work with like a specific like does she have like a nutritionist dietitian who also like takes care of that and like make sure like
Well, it's mainly with her like mom because her dad is a physician.
Okay.
So
Yeah, yeah, that makes
So are you working with her dad then?
well, well, he's in the Navy and
sense. Okay,
Oh.
so he's like military
he's
doctor.
more towards internal medicine and not really like pediatric. So
Yeah.
I have to keep in tabs with like her neuro consultant. I have to
Mhm.
call her her like pharmacist to like reorder, to revalidate, to
Yeah.
do all these things. And then it's mainly like with mom. There are all these like phone numbers that I have to keep tabs and like call if anything is
Yeah.
different or wrong with her.
Yeah.
Recently, we've had to do like labs almost every week because her like levels have been not consistent. So, it just depends on her like diagnostics, and we'll soon be going back to her like neuro
Yeah.
for that double check. But that's mainly what I do at work.
Yeah. I think it's interesting because I feel like what you do is very different than what people usually see nurses, what the setting people usually see nurses in, like the doctor's office or like
Mm,
the hospitals and stuff like that. And like
yeah,
my mom works with like she works with
nursing
old people.
home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she works like at a rehab like
Hmm.
place, so like she's
Yeah.
usually working with like elderly or like people who need like short-term like rehab, physical therapy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
It's really different because like
yeah.
I've done like clinicals with med surge with like older people. Like I did like clinicals nearby here, and it's mainly like long-term nursing geriatric care. And obviously you hit those like dementia units, you hit those like different rehab floors, and it really is different when it comes to kids because you mean
Because
you're they're two
they're
different lives.
kids are they're very unpredictable and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, and the two other kids I deal with, like they are the sweetest things, but like they can also be like sour patch kids, like first they're
Like you have to
sour,
deal with
then they're
like the
sweet.
complexity of like kids
Yeah.
moods.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it also brings in like a psychological like
Yeah.
factor because you think of like Mrs. Baima's like class of like human development, and I had to take another psych class to learn about like children and their development, and I've had to give like advice of like what's normal and what's like something expected in their like age lifespan.
Man, kid, like it's surprisingly like what you because I've taken like psych courses like just for fun.
Mhm.
Like over summer, so I had something to do while I was taking like other courses, and like some of the things you like they're like at this age like like this develops and you're like really like that's pretty young. I
Yeah.
didn't know. And then it's very like weird like because like it's also like something like the kids also like don't understand like but like sometimes like those weird things are like they're normal like
Yeah. But, I think besides seeing like the negatives of it, I really like seeing the growth and the positives of the job. Like they're from California. They don't they don't expect like being here in Illinois is very different for them. And they're very, I feel like we've come to that relationship like stage of where we're very like fond with each other, more connected, and they're more like, oh, surprised, happy to see that consistency. I mean,
Especially,
they're basically like COVID babies, you know, like
yeah,
they didn't get that socialization.
yeah.
So once I came in the picture, it became like something expected.
They're like used to seeing you,
Yeah.
especially since you're like working like specifically like one on one.
Yeah.
Like you develop like more of like a stronger like patient like
Exactly.
relationship with them.
Yeah. So we'll see. I'll be picking up more shifts with them soon
Yeah.
because apparently my other nurse had left that patient. So
Oh, yeah. You like that?
we'll see.
I think it's
Yeah.
interesting, like, because I know, like, there's like a lot of people like who are in nursing and like just
Mhm.
like being able to hear about like, there's like a lot of different like options like within like nursing
There
you can go
are.
on.
There's
Because I
so
know
many.
I've talked recently with like kind of like a friend of a friend, like
Mhm.
because like they recently got into like nursing program, but like like it's like not by choice, like they didn't want to
Mm.
do nursing, but like
Yeah.
it's forced in the family.
Yeah. I
Like
get that.
like they made them do nursing, and I was like, there's a lot like you can do like with nursing.
Yeah.
Like I think like right now you might like not like I know you it's not probably something you want to do, but like there's a lot like that you can do. Maybe just find something that you enjoy the
Exactly.
most and stuff.
I mean, I know a lot of people like that just aren't made for nursing, like the hard, like hands-on things, right? But there's like so many other branches that like they don't even know because the basic things you hear of nursing is wiping old people's butt, right? But like that's not the case.
I mean, especially like when like because like when we took like CNA
I mean,
and
that's what we
stuff, like that's
did.
basically like what you had to do, but
But like that's more towards of like hard work, which a lot of people
like very the physical like
yeah,
manual
more
stuff like
strained.
that.
But
And like not everyone's also like made to be like in operating like in the operating room, like in the
mhm.
ICU, like the high emergency room, high stress.
Yeah,
But like
like I don't
some people thrive on that. Like some
yeah,
people like that's where they like really
that's their
like
passion.
yeah, they really thrive on like that like adrenaline, like the
Mhm.
unexpected
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
I
Like
don't like that.
I know some people like they switched into like the ICU and they're like, yeah, all this
Yeah.
crazy stuff. Or I know
Mhm.
people like they're not nurses, but they moved from like, like a lab position and like
Mhm.
but now they're working in the OR and then I see
Yeah.
stories of them like they're like, yeah, I had a code blue and this was like my first week on the job and they're like telling me to do all these things.
Yeah.
And then they like she's like, yeah, they made me come to see the code like in the operating room, like just to experience like what's happening.
Yeah.
But some people like really thrive in like that
They like that.
environment.
I'm like
Yeah. But like there's definitely like more chill, like
mhm.
less like more
There's a
like
lot of one-on-one. There's a lot of more of like the office type of work when it
yes.
comes to it. Like if they don't really want to do those type of things, like
Yeah.
be a DON, like more of like
Yeah.
administrative,
There's a lot of
like
administrative.
supervising
There's
type
also
of
same
work.
thing with like being like people like doctors, physicians. There's a lot of
Mhm.
like it's not just you don't have to just be in like personally like going to see patient.
No.
Like I've like personally at my work, like our medical department lead, she's a doctor. Like
Mhm.
she like is basically doing like what I'm doing, but like more with the medical stuff. Like she's
Yeah.
not seeing patients. She's like working a lot of like kind of office stuff, like administrative, like analytic stuff. I just see
Yeah.
Mr. Miyagi just he's vibing. But yeah, there's like, you know, like there's a lot more to like I feel like in like every job, like there's like what like people usually like normally see, but there's
Mhm.
also so many like what you don't like that's not common, like
No.
common knowledge to other people.
Mm-mm. And
Yeah.
that's okay. But
Yeah.
as for like PPE, what Tiffany was talking about, my patient is traumatized to scrubs. So I wear normal, comfortable athleisure wear
I
because
wish.
what?
I wish.
Yeah, because if she like sees scrubs, like she's traumatized because like I said, she grew up in a hospital.
So yeah, it's just like it's
So
like a bad experience.
But
for
if
her.
I do wear scrubs, I wear like kind of like the jogger style and different like colors, so it works her like
because your patient's like still young, so it's like very like like,
She's
that's all they know. So they're like it's not like a very comfortable experience for them.
But yeah, that's what I do as a pediatric nurse here. But Eric,
Eric's in something completely different.
Yeah,
completely different. Here we go. He's been quiet.
He's like, okay, let me just wake up. Let me wake up.
Oh, Eric,
quiet.
Eric can't relate.
It's like, the viewers probably forgot he was even here.
Eric's like, where do I start?
He's like, wait, where am I?
So
what's your title, Eric?
I studied computer science.
Wow. What do I do work?
That is my degree.
Okay.
My bachelor's degree. My official title is cloud engineer.
Wow.
Ooh, wait. Ooh.
Cloud.
But it's really just easiest to tell people I'm a software engineer because basically that's what I am.
It's like similar,
but I focus on like creating solutions for clients and also internally that uses a lot of like cloud-based technology. And also it's important because so the industry that I work in is energy, and so that the company I work for is basically kind of like they do a lot of testing and reporting, and they can kind of act sort of like auditors, independent auditors for like oil, gas, all those kind of like energy.
Yeah. So
energy.
like for those who don't know, can you explain like what like the cloud is? What's the cloud?
What's the cloud?
The cloud.
Like I feel like a lot of people like like they know of it, but like I feel like a lot of people don't exactly know like what it is.
Eric, what is it?
So the cloud, when people generally think about it, they think of like, okay, you're sending data up into the internet, right? Somewhere.
Space.
Yeah, basically that's what it feels like. It just goes up and it's in the air. It's like, oh, it's in the cloud, But the cloud is not just somewhere where you store things. It's also a lot of different types of services. So I guess starting with what people usually think of in terms of like storing photos or videos or whatever. These are like giant data centers the size of like many football fields in the middle of different places all over the country and all over the world. Yeah. And that's where the data is stored. It's not actually ever like
in a cloud.
It's like a physical place on Earth, a huge data center that's maintained by some really smart engineers and like computer engineers, software engineers, stuff like that. So that's what basically the cloud is. And in terms of like, I guess here's like a really interesting thing. I work a lot with AWS, which is Amazon Web Services. And that is a platform that consists of a lot of cloud-based tools that like software engineers or other kind of companies can create digital infrastructure with. So that's like a lot of jargon, but the interesting thing here is that Amazon makes most of its money not from the store, which a lot of people think like, oh, it sells a lot of things from the store, but no. Jeff Bezos is rich because of Amazon Web Services, which is a bunch of other companies using these really cool cloud tools to build their own softwares and tools. I don't know off the top of my head, but I think like maybe like Netflix, Facebook, all these companies, they use AWS. Yeah, they use AWS as their foundation. Yep.
Damn.
So so like what I actually do is I make software right now. The biggest project that I'm working on is creating software that takes in live data and can generate reports and can send alarms to clients whenever something bad or something that needs attention.
Okay.
they can get those alerts immediately and then just act upon it. So that's the software I'm working on from start to end. That's my biggest project, and it's been going on for a few months, and I'm like
Tired.
I'm actually really tired of working on it. Like, it's a really fun project, but like I feel like I haven't had like a really good break from it, and it's close to being done, but it's really like a ton of work, and I'm like the main developer,
Oh.
Ooh.
which is
How many people do you usually have on your team?
me.
It's me, myself, and I.
No,
Myself
so
and I, he says.
so there's like the issues that we work with contractors, right? So like my main team consists of 3 or 4 people depending on who you ask, and I mean I work with all of them in different capacities, but um 2 of them are like in industry specialists basically, who understand the energy sector, who are like chemical engineers and can understand all that jargon that the clients care about. One of them, the other one is a electrical engineer who learned how to do a lot of programming, and they usually end up working on projects separate from mine, and I end up helping them a little bit. And then I'm the one who's working on this project from like the actual development side, and I've had contractors that I work with like who are consistently there, but it's not the same thing as having, someone in-house who you will see very long term, right? So it's mostly just me.
Oh.
But yeah, my coworkers are all cool, and I definitely like talk to them, and we do all that like business side or like the technical side that's not coding,
Mhm.
but like programming, primarily just me.
Do you have like
Oh.
deadlines and stuff?
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's the potential deadline for this?
Whenever
He's like, whenever I finish it.
whenever I
Finish
yeah
it next year.
yeah, ASAP, basically ASAP.
Okay.
I think we're hoping to like have something ready for them by the end of shit, we're already in May.
He's like, oh. He's like looking at the calendar, like,
Here
oh
we-
shit.
Yeah. So yeah, hopefully this week or next week we're gonna like transition into like the client actually having users and then starting to pay for the service. And so that's really exciting. But yeah, it's a lot of work.
That's how I feel about deadlines too.
Oh yeah.
I was like, I can't
Deadlines.
take. I know. Every time I look at the day, I'm like, damn.
Everyone be
it's
like
gonna work
emailing me.
today.
They're like, I've had like an email like they're like, hey, can you send me this? They're like, yeah, because like apparently it's past like the deadline, like they want to be testing, but like and that's not my fault. Like I got the information late.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
same.
and they're like, yeah, can you send it to me? Like I want this morning to send to like the manufacturer. And I'm like messaging all these people. I'm like, hey, can you like reject this so I can like edit it and then send it because he wants it now.
Hurry.
So yeah, Eric, would you ever like consider like, like going in like, like tech like in like the tech kind of industry? Is that ever something you thought about? Like if you ever like, like if you've ever like, like decided to like because I feel like for like because like, I have a lot of friends in like, like CS too.
Yeah.
And I see a lot of people like, they like I see that it's very common like people in like this industry to like move companies a lot.
Yeah, it is common to move a lot, but I mean, it kind of also depends on what you want to do and what your
Yeah.
goal is. And me, I think like software engineering and all that kind of stuff is great, but I'm more of a social person, and so moving into more of a leadership role is more important to me than continuing to sit behind a computer and independently typing away for hours and hours and hours. So I mean, I mean, my job is tech. I work with like IoT, software engineering stuff like that. But I mean, I don't plan on leaving the company like super soon or anything. Um, I have a really unique position because it's basically like a startup, and I think I'm doing a lot more work than your average first first year out of college worker is getting. So I think it's a lot of really good experience.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Fighting, we're all adults.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's actually kind of crazy. I mean, I think prior to us getting like our jobs, right? Like Eric worked at Taco Bell. I worked. I mean, I worked at Mitsuo, which is a Japanese grocery store, and I did some caregiving on the side.
Bro, I've
Like,
worked in like retail.
Paige
I worked
did
in
retail. She worked in
I
restaurants.
worked in a
Tiffany
restaurant.
did a convenience store. She worked at Jewel Osco. Like, it's actually crazy. Like, it's like, damn, we're transitioning through life.
Yeah.
Like,
We all worked so
You know, I
hard.
still feel like, I feel like, it feels like we got it figured out, but I feel like I'm still barely figuring it out.
of course. I mean, I'm
You know,
still
and
in
it's like,
school.
sometimes like yeah, I had like a discussion with like a friend who's like still trying to like figure things out
That's
and
okay.
like feeling worried that like, seeing like your friends like seeming like they have it all figured out, but like,
No.
like I feel like
Mm-mm.
some people, there are people who like, yeah, definitely there are people who like, like they definitely have it figured out, but like I feel like a lot of people like talk about like, like the successes and like the good parts, but like, I feel like, everyone's still kind of figuring things out.
We're all
like, in
struggling.
one way or another, figuring.
I feel like that's what being an adult is. Just
Yeah,
Well,
because it's like,
yeah.
even like I have like these time like being with like the company, I'm like, is this like something like being in such like in a major where there's a lot of like different
Fields.
opportunities and
Mhm.
like industries you can work on, is like figure
Yeah.
out if like
that's
if
what
this
you want to
something
do.
like I want to do, or if like
Yeah.
if I want to transition after work, getting like that experience, transition to like doing like something else.
Yeah. And that's okay because we're
Yeah.
still young. We can still change. We can still experience what we want to do, try something different, go out of our comfort zones. And I think that's the exciting part about life because, like, we can still be 40 and we'll still be working, but we can be in a completely different realm of what we
Yeah,
were
because
originally.
there is me who is like, I'm like
I'm indecisive. Like,
I'm because there's me like I'm working like at a pretty good like well-known company and stuff like that, but then there's also me like I'm like I want to build a cafe and stuff like that,
right.
I'm like just for the lulls. And
Just
like I know
for
like
the
like definitely
Yeah.
like me, like I feel like I've also been like looking into like other like potential jobs, like if I wanted to like try something new, like things
Mhm.
that like like the like research like aspect and stuff like that is something that's also interested me. And like getting like this experience like with my company now like definitely would help me like find other jobs
For
like
sure.
suited, because
Exactly.
like since I also work for like a big name like company and
You
stuff
get
like
connections.
that. Yeah, I got the connections. But yeah, there's a lot out there like with jobs and stuff, a lot of opportunities. And there's a lot of people like also like a lot of like all of us got like jobs like within our major, but I know a lot of people who like are working jobs like not in their major, but they also like really enjoy it, so
Mhm.
don't feel constrained to like what you graduated. Like I know someone like kind of like an acquaintance, they graduated like pharmaceutical like sciences and was working like pharmacy kind of stuff like that, but then they're like, I don't like this.
Yeah.
Like they like after working, so right now they're actually working for like, I know someone like working for Wong Fu like as an intern.
Ooh.
Or like I know
Yeah.
people, they're working like the media like something completely different like in
That's
media.
awesome.
Like if you have the means to be able to like
branch out.
choose what you want to do, like
Do it.
just like if you have like if you're able to like like discover like what you like
Yeah.
you choose your major at a really young age.
Yeah.
Like you're expected to like oh,
Don't
quick,
be-
you graduate high school,
Pursue it.
quick
Yeah.
decide what you want to do. It's very ingrained in you at a
And
young age, like
yeah.
like seeing like preschool, they're
What do
like,
you want
I
to be
want to,
when you grow
what you
up?
want to be when you grow up,
Mhm.
because like
Happy.
Why?
happy. And like honestly like that's like definitely a discussion like I've had like with like my
It's
parents,
tough.
like
Yeah.
my parents are always like, my mom still, she's out here still trying to get me to go like grad school and stuff, but like I just know like at this moment, like school makes me depressed.
Same.
Like it's just like I don't think like mentally,
Cry.
like I don't think like at this point in life, like going back to school is something like in my mind,
It's tough.
because it's money, it's a lot of time, and it's a lot, it's like easier said than done,
It's relatable. I'm in that.
Yeah, it's
I'm
easier
in
said
that
than
right
done.
now.
And then like, my dad's out here, he's like find what you want to do.
Right.
He like, but it's funny because like he definitely was like the one, like when I switched from pharmacy, he was the most angry. He was the most angry. But like now he's like, find what you like to do. Like do what makes you happy. Do like, that's the lesson. Do do what makes you happy. Unless like, it's like illegal, but like I'm just like, because like someone's like one day someone's gonna be like, they told me to do what makes me happy and stabbing people.
Oh,
Makes me happy. No, that is not a good thing unless it's like self-defense, but ooh.
No.
That's a story for another day.
That's
Yeah.
a story for you have a story about stabbing people, Tiffany?
No.
But yeah,
I do not.
yeah. And then I feel like a lot of it's also like it's okay to like move like jobs in companies. Don't feel
Yeah.
don't like your company is not like your company
only
is not
one.
loyal to you.
You're replaceable.
Like you're replaceable. Like they will
Damn.
like it's true. Like don't put all like your time and effort to like try and be like recognized for like to like a company that's not gonna like like just replace you as soon as like you're expendable to them. Like there's so many like people out there who can be in like your position. They can just replace you like that if they so choose. So
Damn.
do what makes you happy.
So what's your recommendation for today then?
Oh, I have a recommendation.
All right. What's the recommendation topic today?
My recommendation was like I don't know, like self-care products, like skin products and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, as you may or may not know, I have eczema. So, like especially during the springtime, like when all the pollen is out, like I like break out a lot, and like my face gets really red. Like my skin is dry, and it's a lot for like in the winter too. So I've been experimenting with new products and stuff. So this sounds pretty good. I actually recommend like the whole like the whole like line, the whole line of like brands that they sell. I think it's pretty good. I recommend it's Dr. Jart. It's a Korean brand. It's the one I have right now. This is a like a facial kind of like a lotion, and it's ceramidin, which is like very good for like retaining moisture in the skin. And then they also have like it's a Sika repair, which is like with tiger grass. That's very good if you have like sensitive skin and you have like a lot of redness. That helps with that. But yeah, this one's really good for like if you have like really dry skin, and it's very important to keep your skin moisturized. It's even like even if you have like oily skin, you should still be moisturizing it because it keeps it in balance. I think that's very important, like at a younger age. This be like 25. This is not $25. I think this was like $40. But I have a cheaper option. It's a drugstore option.
Yeah,
like you can find one. I like this too. It's a little like it's pretty like also like very moisturizing, but I just needed something a little heavier recently. It's the Neutrogena Hydro Boost, and it's a water gel. It has a hyaluronic acid, and I think this is really good. Just a really good it's like it's light too, but it's very moisturizing. It's really helped me a lot with skin and dryness in my skin. especially if you have like psoriasis and like eczema. It's not very irritating. It helps a lot, and it's something like I appreciate. So I'd recommend those two brands, Dr. Jart for like like a more high end product, and Neutrogena if you want like a cheaper option. Those are my recommendations. Haha.
My recommendation, I guess. What is it? So we're on the topic of self-care.
Like self-care, beauty,
taking care of yourself.
Beauty. Okay. So people put on sunscreen, but sometimes they forget their lips. So definitely buy lip balm with SPF. And the one that I really like that you can get on Amazon, I don't know if you can get it at like another store, but it's called Supergoop Play SPF 30.
Ooh.
Do you have it with you?
I don't have it on me. I have 3, but I just don't have them on me.
Oh my gosh, yes. Super important. Sunscreen. Sunscreen is really important.
And it's has like a very light minty,
especially if you're
scent.
pale. Minty.
Yeah, it's very mild, very light, but it's there. So in case you don't like that, then
doesn't taste like toothpaste to you.
No, it's good.
It's good.
Good.
Yeah, sunscreen very important. Even if you're dark, even if you have like melanin, you don't want skin cancer. Protect your skin.
And if you like really flavory sweet stuff, which I don't, and I bought this just to try it, you can get the Sun Bun. They have like coconut, pomegranate, and banana.
It's strong.
Yeah, the scents and flavors are very strong and very sweet. So if you're into that, it has SPF as well. But
cute,
nice. How about you, Kanai?
Oh, okay. Let's see. I recently got the CeraVe.
Yes.
I got the AM facial moisturizing lotion with sunscreen because
that's not my CeraVe. Where is it?
I was gonna say that's his vanity cream.
It was the same color. I grabbed the wrong one. It's over there.
So I have this one only because I've done some research and I know that brand has been really good, and I know that it's going to be summer soon, and I like to go out and walk in the sun and be one with nature sometimes. So I got one with SPF because I normally don't put on sunscreen like on my face, specifically on my face, because a lot of the ones like for your face is really tacky, and it's just
or like it has like the white like
yeah, and I don't
doesn't
like
account
that.
for darker skin people.
Yeah, so I just get this, and I just like make sure I like rub it in really well.
Yeah.
As like a nice refresher, I just use this Japanese Naturey skin conditioner lotion, and it's just something that I like just spray on in my face just to like keep it hydrated, just to keep it fresh, refreshed. When you're feeling a little dry. Especially for me when I don't drink that much water. And then I love Burt's Bees.
Ooh, twins.
I love Burt's Bees beeswax balm.
I have mango flavored.
I have like the OG one.
I like flavored lip balms. It's the only way I use them.
I just love this one. This one's like my favorite. Like through the years, I've tried different beeswax ones, and this is my favorite. Like,
I have to say something now on the matter of lip care, just because I've like had taken medicine that makes your lips extremely dry, and there's no chapstick is good enough for me. Sorry, I use chapsticks because whatever,
it's accessible.
Yeah, but like Aquaphor is another level of hydration.
Yes,
it's just like nothing can.
I'm all about moisture.
Yeah. And
like
you
most
can use
of my
it.
stuff.
You can use Aquaphor for any place you want.
It's a very yeah, definitely like Aquaphor, like CeraVe, Vanity Cream, Cetaphil. Those are very good. Like right before those are like before like your if you go to a dermatologist, they have like dry skin and stuff. Like they'll recommend that first before like try those stuff out first. It's very Dr. Jart also has like a body lotion too. It's pretty good.
Yeah,
it was a sample I got that came with it.
Yeah.
Please sponsor me.
But if you're also looking for like cheap and you want like the bulk of it, like if you go to like Sam's Club
Sam's or Costco
or
has
like
it, definitely.
Costco, they have like the tubs where it's like maybe $14-15.
Yeah, I got the
whereas,
tubs.
like if you
Coupons.
buy it in the store, it's like twice that amount.
They
Yeah.
have coupons, or sometimes
Yes.
it goes on sale.
They
Yes,
do, and they do
yes,
have coupons. But definitely try. Take care of your skin. Okay,
yes.
Tiffany, go.
Tiffany,
Well, mine was Cetaphil.
Cetaphil,
So-
yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there's that. I've been
Cetaphil.
using their, what's it called? The face cream one.
hmm
I used to use their like face wash. They had like a face wash. Face wash.
Face
I think that's the
Stop.
face wash I have.
I kind
Yeah,
of
the
want
Cetaphil. I used to use that when my skin was very like when my eczema was really at its like peak when I was younger.
I want to try the CeraVe face cleanser.
I've heard that one.
I
too.
have that
hydrating
one.
I've seen people
I
use
have that one. That's
The
the one I have.
hydrating one. I want to
Yeah.
try that. I haven't
It's-
gotten a chance.
It's very interesting. It's not like something that like foams up or like does bubbles or anything. It kind of just like it kind of feels like the Neutrogena Hydro Boost gel. It
Oh,
just
yeah.
kind
Like a
of
gel?
like
The gel kind of.
yeah, and but
Ooh.
you just like
I'm okay with
circular
that.
motion.
Oh,
I'm okay.
yes. Something also I would recommend. I know it's like it's been kind of popular, like the patches you put like when you break out, but
hear-
but
I have
yes, that's the one I was gonna recommend. That brand.
Yeah?
Because yeah,
Put that closer for me, please.
that. Here.
Yes, so basically
Derma
it's a
Fix.
Okay.
Hanhu. So basically,
just add
like
me.
the really popular one I know is like the first one was like the Corsex ones,
Mhm.
and I think those are pretty good. Like if you're able to afford those and that's accessible to you, go get those. I think they sell them at Ulta, but
Yeah.
they're like I think it's like 12 something for a pack, but it comes with a lot. It's a lot,
Mhm.
but a cheaper option. It works. Like honestly, I started using this like because I was
Yeah.
breaking out because of like allergies.
It
Bro,
helps.
it's gone. They be gone. All I like I use the like the big patch one where you can cut it.
Yeah,
Bro,
same.
I slapped that
one.
on my cheek like the whole thing, and in the morning it's gone. It's gone because like
yeah,
yeah.
it really helps.
So
It's
you
nice.
can get these at Walmart and it's
Yeah,
like $3, like
Yeah.
$3-4.
Mhm.
Hanhu,
And-
HANHOO blemish patch, patch, really cheap. Use it for like spot treatments. Don't like use it as a replacement like if you have like severe acne and stuff.
No, it
Like it's
won't.
very like if you have like light breakouts.
Just breakouts.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It helps like, you just put it on when you sleep and then like take it off in the morning. Like
Yeah.
you peel it off and you see all like the white, the gunk. Don't worry, Tiffany, we'll send you that. Yeah, she's like she'd be looking, she's like trying to read
What
it.
is that?
She's like, oh, what's
What's
that?
that?
Yeah, it was like because I was like breaking out like on my forehead and like a cheek area.
Yeah.
You can put makeup on them, too. Like you could, like if you want to put makeup, you can put it over. They're like pretty translucent. I think like the Corsex ones are better suited for those if you want to like still put on like makeup and stuff.
Makeup.
They like I know those ones like pretty like blend in like a lot better. I feel, but yes, but it's great investment.
Great investment.
It's such a good investment because like
Mhm.
like if you like sometimes you have those days when you break out and it's like how you get rid of it.
Those things.
Yeah, those days. Woo!
Damn. But
So,
that was
yeah.
a great podcast. Great recommendations, everybody.
Yeah, skincare. Woo! If you have any more skincare questions, I spend an absurdly amount of money. I've tried many things. I've tried high end like I have like SK2 Essence. The $99 is the cheapest one. I've tried like cheap drugstore, quick fixes for skincare. Got it all. Hit me up with if you need anything. I'll probably have an opinion on it. But yeah. So thanks for sharing everyone about what you guys do at work because I literally like
I don't know, y'all.
I don't know you guys, no, but like I just wanted to hear like what you guys like do and stuff. Specifically like get more in depth on like because like what if someone asks you, they're like, oh, what does your friend do? And I'm like,
I know. I'm just like they work at a lab.
They work, yeah. Yeah, honestly. because even like me, I have a hard time trying to explain what I do. Like my mom's like, explain to them what you do. Tell them what you do, and I'm like, listen. I'm like,
I don't know.
use terms like trying to put into like layman terms, you know. Yeah. Thanks for sharing, guys. That's it for this episode. Check us out. Remember to watch this and our. Oh, I can't speak. Make sure to check out our other episodes, our past episodes, if you are not caught up. On Spotify, any streaming platforms, you can watch our video on YouTube too, as well, our VODs. So yeah. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next episode. Bye.
Bye.